Job market is so bad. Y'all tell me why I just applied to be a special agent for the FBI. Because at this point, it is what it is.
Alright everybody, today we are going to continue talking about the current job market and how it is really difficult for people to find a job. Let's get into it.
Want to know how brutal the 2025 job market is? I just went to a recruiter conference 2 weeks ago and spoke with hundreds of recruiters and asked them, what is your biggest challenge right now? What's your biggest struggle? And every single recruiter told me the same thing. Their biggest challenge right now is being inundated with applications. Like literally they are getting hundreds, if not thousands of applications for every job that they have open. So for every job opening they have, they're getting hundreds of applications. And the challenge is being able to review each resume fairly to make sure everybody is getting a chance to find those top 5 to 10 qualified candidates that then they can screen and have a quick call with, and they can send to the hiring manager.
Yeah, this is going to be really tough. Imagine you have to be the top 10 or even 5 of all the maybe 1 to 2,000 applications that was submitted. Yeah, it's going to be a really difficult things to do. You probably have to meet all of the requirements that was listed on the job application. And most companies nowadays probably use AI tool to filter out hundreds of applications that was applying every single day. And it's just going to be really difficult if you don't have the right keyword on your resume. The chance of your application being viewed by the recruiter or the employer is really difficult. And yeah, like he said, it's really challenging right now for job seeker to trying to get a job in 2025.
But a lot of these recruiters are also working on 30 plus positions. So they are literally having to review thousands of applications. The reason this matters is because if you're applying to a job, you literally are going up against hundreds and thousands of qualified people. And it also explains why most of the time it feels like you're applying into a black hole. Behind that black hole is an overwhelmed recruiter that's got too many applications. And that's a massive reason that the job search is absolutely brutal in 2025.
Everyone's always like, the job market sucks. And I was like, maybe people just have a negative outlook on life. And I always tend to have a positive outlook on life. So I was like, there's no way the job market sucks that badly. I moved to DC a week after I graduated from college. And I was so excited to do all the things. I was ready to follow my dreams, do the things. And then I had an internship. I had an internship lined up. Internship was great. And I was like, I have this month of this internship. I will be networking, sending out my resumes, doing all the things. It has now been almost 2 months since the internship ended. And I still don't have a job.
Yeah, right now, especially for those who just recently graduated from college, it is going to be really difficult to find a job right away, even if you have an internship. But if you have an internship, I believe, the chance of you finding a job just a little bit higher, just because at least you have some experience while you're still in school. But beside that, it is really difficult. You are going to compete with other maybe 1,000, even 100,000 of recent graduate on the same industry. And you just have to be the top 5 or 10 to even get into the next interview process. And I just really feel bad for, the recent graduate right now.
Because why does every single one of these job postings is like, I'll filter it out for entry-level positions, and they're like, entry-level positions, 3 to 5 years Hill experience. And then they still want to pay me the same as like an entry-level wage. And I'm like, this is so confusing. Also, the amount of 3 to 5 year experience positions that are open right now, but then even when I'm like, you know what, balls to the walls, I'll apply for it. I apply for it, don't get it. I actually did apply for one of them. I got to the interview rounds. I got to the final interview and was one of the last. I was the second choice, but they went with somebody who had more experience. I'm actually not that mad. I'm so happy to be here. I'm so happy to be here, but I would love to be here with health insurance and a salary.
It is so dehumanizing being in the job market right now. I graduated college in the peak of COVID, and even then, it was easier to get a job in my field than it is now. I was working as a UX designer, designing software for public health services to track diseases, viral outbreaks, all that good stuff. And when Trump cut funding to the public health department, I lost my job. And prior to then, I was doing what most UX designers did, designing mobile apps, dashboards, any sort of application that a consumer might use. I've been working as a product designer for 5 years. I should be able to just apply for a job and get it, or get an interview at the least. But it's gotten to the point now where you apply to a job and you don't even get a rejection. You just hear nothing back at all. And a lot of these jobs too will ask for someone with 5 years of experience, but then they're paying an entry-level salary.
Yeah, that's the wild part about today's job market. You can put in 5 years of real experience, grind it out, and even build skills, but companies still trying to pay you like you are fresh out of college, which doesn't even make sense to me. And it almost feels like the whole system has been reset after 2020. Employers know that people are desperate, so they are dangling entry-level pay for a mid-level works. And the worst part is that they try and write a job description asking for some sort of senior level skills, but when it comes to the paycheck, suddenly it is a junior position, and it's basically a scam with a fancy title.
I'm sorry, but in the tech field, when you've reached 5 years, that is not entry level anymore. You're telling me that you want me to research, design, lead a team, animate, code it, be a fucking unicorn, all for $70,000 a year? In New York City? I don't think so, baby. Flip side, if you apply to an entry-level job, you're overqualified and you don't get it. But then they're not hiring people out of college because they can get AI to do that job. Feels like it just doesn't matter anymore. You can do everything you're supposed to do. Go to college, get good grades, go to graduate school, get a job, and then have years of formal experience, and then it's still not enough. I think the fact of the matter is it takes nepotism or knowing someone to get a job now. But in reality, the people who you know are too busy and stressed out about their own job security to even help you. I am such a well-connected individual in New York City, but it doesn't even matter because everyone is fighting for their life right now. It doesn't matter if you're entry-level, mid-level, senior, director, everyone is just fighting to survive out here. And with the rise of AI coming for jobs, even though a lot of AI can't do these jobs, companies are choosing to get AI to do them anyways, though shittily, just because it saves them a buck, when in reality, it's all gonna cost us so much more in the long run.
My older sister graduated college and she applied to over 500 jobs this summer, so let's see how it worked out for her. First of all, I thought this was crazy, but she got ghosted from 440 of those jobs and rejected from over 100. Getting ghosted from like 80% of the jobs you applied to must not be for the weak, but she persevered.
Yeah, over 500 application is a lot. But again, from what I'm seeing, that is the average number nowadays in the current job market. And even here, as you can see, she got ghosted over 400 times and rejected over 100, which just show how brutal the job market right now. And from personal experience, and mind you, I have a job right now, but I just want to do an experiment to test out the water and see what is out there right now. In the past month, I've applied to 10 job applications, and I only heard back from 4 of them. And of those 4, all of them are all rejection letter, which is sucks. And yeah, I'm just going to stick with the job that I have right now and just kind of watching closely and see what is currently happening out there with the job market, and maybe just testing out the water here and there and see how things go.
She had a lot of first round interviews. She had 210, which is kind of crazy to think about.
Yeah, 210 interview is crazy. I'm not sure how is she managing that. And it's going to be very stressful. There's just so many interview questions that you have to prep for, and depending on what company you're applying for, the interview question and answer that you need to prepare for is going to be different. So yeah, 210 is a wild number.
From the first interview, 130 of those jobs went to a second interview for her. After 130 second interview rounds, she got invited to 20 final interview rounds. I would be so done with interviewing at this point. I don't know how she did it. And from those 20 final interview rounds, she ended up getting 3 offers and accepting one of them, which had the best benefits and best pay.
This is actually way more common than you would think. I just got back from a bachelor party where 3 out of the 10 guys were unemployed. Mind you, these are a bunch of 30-year-olds with 8 years of corporate experience, one of which just finished their MBA from UCLA. Another one who has extensive experience producing TV shows, most notably the Real Bros of Simi Valley movie. And they've been unsuccessfully on the job hunt from 3 months to a year ago when one of them finished their MBA program at UCLA. These are some of the most qualified dudes that I know.
And that's what I noticed too. Even people with years of experience nowadays still have a really difficult time to find a job. And I guess one of the reasons is that, companies nowadays are being very careful on how much they want to spend. The more experience you have, the more, salary expectation that you need. That makes sense, right? But, companies are not willing to do that. They are looking for candidates that are willing to do more work for less pay. And, that just doesn't really make sense to me.
And it's a struggle to find a good job. One theory that I've seen circulating out there is that companies are now trying to drive down wages because apparently during the COVID years, wages got way too high. The problem is inflation also got way too high, and we got used to living a certain way based on those salaries. And inflation's not going down, but wages are certainly getting driven down. And so now you have this massive disparity between expectations and what's actually being offered. All the while, there's a surplus of candidates because of all the layoffs. And that just makes for a horrible job market.
At this point, I think I'm just gonna sell feet pics online for money because the job market right now is shit! I'm currently looking for a job and I don't have that much experience, so I'm just looking for an entry-level position, okay? Nothing too crazy. I'm looking at these entry-level positions. Let me know why one of them said 8 fucking years of experience. 8 years? You see, I'm no mathematician, but I graduated from college 2 years ago. And the last time I checked, college was 4 years. So 4 plus 2 is 6, right? So the extra 2 years would have meant that I would have been in high school. 8 years of industrial experience. Girl, I was still busy learning what the nucleus of a cell was. You mean 8 years of industrial experience?
Yeah, there are so many funny job applications out there that I came across. There's especially the one that have entry level on the title, and when you read through the description and the requirement, they say, hey, you need at least 3 years of experience to apply here. You need this degree or you need this certification. And when you look at the pay range, it's this doesn't even make sense. And you look through the duties and responsibility that was listed on the application, it seemed like this one was meant for a senior level. And it's so funny that they have entry level on the title, which is crazy. Make that make sense.
No. Wait, but hold on. There's more. The tomfoolery doesn't end here. Nope. All of a sudden, all companies want to release ghost jobs where they just leave the position, but they never intend to fill it. So it's basically just rotting up there on the job board for 6-7 months, and people are applying, getting their hopes up and trying to get a new job, but clearly that job isn't meant to be filled. So why is it still there? You're wasting my time. I want a job and I want it now. I'm literally gonna pull a Katie Fang and start crying because of work. But the difference between me and her is that she actually has a job. Meanwhile, I don't. Oh my god. Wait, that makes it worse. Wait. Oh my god.
Yeah, I don't know what else to say. I'm just going to wish her the best. Hopefully things get better for her, and hopefully she could find a job very, very soon.
So every time y'all start talking about how terrible the job market is, I go into work the very next day and just do my best. I'm just I'm here. I'm present. Good morning. I'm sending out good morning emails. Sign happy whatever day it is. I just can't, okay? I literally show up and I show out every time y'all get to talking about the job market, because I need my job to know that I need my job, please.
Yeah, I feel her. I'm very lucky to have a job right now, and I'm going to try and just stick with it as long as possible until I find a better one. But for now, I'm just gotta go in, do my work, and just go home. Yeah, trying to not cause any issues, because the job market right now is looking terrible and I do not want to lose the job right now. Today we are going to talk about people who quit their 9-to-5 job without a backup plan, so let's get into it.
Girl, please do not leave that job that you hate so much right now if you don't have something else lined up. I was making $30+ an hour at a tech sales job full commission, uncapped, not making $10 an hour hosting.
I'm going to tell you this because no one else wants to tell you. If you have a job, you are hired on, you are working 40 hours a week, do not quit your job right now. I'm just going to put this out there and let you know it is very difficult to find a job. You will not know it until you actually are in the job market. Even if it's not in your field, it doesn't matter what job you have. If you're hired on right now, remain and keep that job security because you don't know how hard it is out here.
I agree with what you say there. Especially in the current job market, you do not want to quit your 9-to-5 job that you currently have without anything lined up. As you know, the current job market, the hiring process is slowing down and companies are very cautious with their spending, which means fewer openings. A lot of competition out there right now. For every job, there is dozen and sometimes hundreds of applications that are applying. The job market right now, it takes longer for job hunts. Depending on your industry, it can take months and sometimes 2 years or so just to land a new role. So I do not recommend that you quit your 9-to-5 job right now.
Do not leave your job right now. I don't know if they told y'all, but it's crazy out here. I quit my job a few months back. Not because I necessarily wanted to, I was just put in a difficult position where I had to. And it took me so long to find another job. I'm a very qualified person. I got a degree, I got experience. Every job I applied for, I was either qualified for or overly qualified. There's really not a reason a person like me in 2024 shouldn't have been able to find a job for that long. It's treacherous out here. I'm not an economist, I'm not a politician, I'm not a financial advisor, whatever you want to call it. But I think it's a lot worse than they telling us right now. Like, I think the job market, financial shit, our economy is not well right now. It's affecting jobs, it's affecting whether people are hiring or not, and it's tough out here. Like, there may have been a time where you could quit your job and find another one the same week because you just have it like that. Like, you got the experience, you got the qualifications, you've never been without a job. This might not be that time.
Yeah, quitting a job this week and being able to find a new job the next week is no longer exists in the current economy. There's just a lot of stuff going on in the world right now, and then the job hiring process is slowing down. There's a lot of competition. For every job there's just hundreds of applications that are applying, and job hunt are taking longer than it used to be. And company are not willing to spend their money on the new hiring, so it is not best to quit right now unless you have something lined up.
Don't quit, because you may be out of work for a while. You may really set yourself back a lot more than you even know. Like, you may be walking into something very unexpected and very surprising. You spiritual and you feel like God is calling you to do it. I'm not saying don't listen to God. What I'm saying is don't just take it upon yourself to just be like, I'm gonna quit because I'm mad, or I don't want to work there no more, or they getting on my nerves. I'm gonna just go find another job, because you might not just find another job as quickly as you're used to finding another job. That's all I'm saying.
Do not quit your day job to be an influencer just because Brand Flakes made $768,000 last year. I quit my job to be an influencer, and I want to tell you the pros and cons because I have a lot of regrets about doing that. If you don't know what I'm talking about, what's her name? Brand Flakes, your Rich BFF podcast, and said he made $768,000 as an influencer last year. The internet is going crazy. One, assuming that all influencers make that much, and two, saying they're gonna quit their job, be an influencer, this is their sign. I'm getting scared because people are just taking that podcast clip, not actually following Brandon's advice or what he's been preaching for so long. He was pursuing content creation while he was in his full-time job. Very smart and strategic about when he quit, that he was in a good financial position when he was able to pursue this full-time. He was brilliant. That's what everyone should be doing, and I wish I did that more to an extent before I quit my job, because I quit my job and I feel like my life has been falling apart ever since then.
Right now is probably not the best time to quit your 9-to-5 job to become a full-time influencer. Being a full-time influencer, the income can be very unpredictable. Brand deals, sponsorship, and ads revenue can dry up overnight. The algorithm can change. Platform like YouTube, TikTok, Instagram can tank your reach at any moment, which can affect your overall source of incomes. And also you don't have any benefits such as the health insurance, 401k, paid time off.
I waited until I hit about 95,000 followers on here before I quit. I made sure I had a 6-month nest egg. I matched or exceeded my corporate income for 3 full months before I took the leap and quit. Honestly, I wouldn't have quit, but my company had a return to office mandate. I was wanting to leave the area. I was wanting to become a stay-at-home mom and do content at home. In 6 weeks of quitting my job, my husband and I filed for divorce. The dream of being a stay-at-home mom was shattered for obvious reasons. Full transparency, I have not had a brand deal since Black Friday. My income has been very shaky.
So the best approach is probably doing social media part-time, and then use your 9-to-5 job to fund your hobbies on social media. And once you are able to maybe double the income from doing social media compared to your 9-to-5 job, and you are able to do that constantly for 2 or 3 years, then maybe that's when I would consider quitting my 9-to-5 job. But if you can't do that, it is not really safe right now to quit the 9-to-5 job. If you don't have anything lined up, you definitely need the constant paycheck coming in to fund the stuff that you're doing for social media. So yeah, maybe the best right now is probably just do it part-time, keep your 9-to-5 job, and basically using your 9-to-5 job to potentially escape your 9-to-5 job. Okay, I have the last clip that I want to show you, and this one is pretty funny, so I'll let you take a look.
I quit my job for anything, and recently I just quit a really good job. They were paying me good money too, but they had me so fucked up. Man, fuck y'all! I am probably the best job quitter you will ever fucking meet. I do not play when it comes to these fucking bum ass jobs. I don't care if that job's paying me $30 fucking an hour. If you piss me off, I'm fucking gone. So I used to work at a very popular soda company, a very popular big, when I say big corporation, probably one of the biggest in the world, right? Y'all probably know what it is. My job specifically was to sit there and stock the shelves. I was a merchandiser. I would have to use my own fucking car, drive to different fucking stores and stock the shelves with whatever the fuck they had in the back.
Okay, typically if that happened, the company should pay for the trip that you're taking. Maybe not your car, but maybe the gas mileage that you have to drive from factory to factory just to do stacking all of this item. I'm not sure, but hopefully that company does that, or else it sucks that this person have to use their own money to pay for the gas just to do the work.
I would have to stock pallets on pallets. It was like 10 fucking pallets, and I would have to do it within that day. And I would have multiple stores a day. I would have to start at 4 a.m. Sometimes I even get home till like 8 p.m. 4 to 8. Are you fucking kidding me? That's no way to fucking live, bitch.
All right, I think that's enough. Thank you so much, everybody, for watching. We are really close to 100 subscribers. So if you can help me reach that by the end of this month, that would be great. But regardless, thank you so much for watching to the end of the video, and drop something in the comment below and I'll try to read it, and I'll see you guys in the next video. Bye.
Son, you need to get a safe job with a big successful company. Sure, Dad, like Microsoft? Oh, or Intel? Or Siemens? Ooh, maybe stay away from tech, what with all the AI. How about a car company? Everybody needs cars. Oh, like Nissan. Fine, son, you win. Go work in the park like you wanted. So where is it safe to work? Nowhere.
Hello everybody, welcome back to the channel. Today we are going to take a look at mass layoff. Let's get into it.
We're about to go through one of the worst recessions in US history. Here is 3 things you can do to prepare for that. Now, before I give you these 3 things, understand this recession could possibly be worse than the Great Depression. In my previous video, I showed you why and how this is going to happen. So, number 1, you want to have 3 to 6 months of money saved up for your normal monthly bills. Very important, especially with the job losses we're likely to see here pretty soon.
Yeah, he's not wrong. I mean, firstly, the emergency fund is very important, whether you are in a recession or not. And, that is a very safety net. And if something hit the fan, you definitely have something to fall back on for the next maybe 3 to 6 months.
Number 2, cut your expenses. I understand with inflation, this can sound difficult, but most of us can find areas that we can cut. Number 3, get a side gig or side hustle. Also, could just add extra hours at work. In this day and age, with the very phone you're holding, many of us can make money on top of our job with easy side gigs you can pick up right online. Do what you can to add as much funds as you possibly can. Cut your expenses as much as you can, and make sure you have 3 to 6 months of savings saved up in case job loss happens to come your way. This recession is going to be nothing to play with. It can bring opportunity for some if you are prepared for it.
And the second thing is probably the most boring things for most people. That is, cutting expenses. And this is where most people fail. I know it's not fun to skip, the morning coffee runs, but when the economy get rough, every dollar counts. And yes, side hustle is absolutely, having another stream of income isn't just smart, but also almost required nowadays. And you can't just rely on one paycheck to cover everything anymore, because you never know what happened, because you can just lose your job tomorrow. And it is very important to at least have an extra couple $100 per month just to fall back on.
A lot of you are overestimating how safe your job is. If the last few years should have taught us anything, it's this: there is no such thing as a stable job. Anytime I've done these videos in the past, people would jump in and say, that's not true. What about government jobs? Well, look where we are now. If we have learned anything over the past few years, it's this: I don't care if you've been at a company for 5 years, 10 years, 15 years, 20 years, even 30 years. You are still at risk of getting that email where they let you know that you are getting laid off.
Yeah, I agree with what he say here. There's definitely no such thing as secure or stable job nowadays. Company can downsize, restructure, or, outsource at any time. And you can't just rely on a paycheck being there forever. It doesn't matter if you've been with the company for 10 years, 15 years, or even 20 years. I've seen a lot of people who have 20 years with the company and still get laid off. And it just sucks. People like us, we doesn't really have much say, and we have to look out for ourselves.
Companies have one goal right now, and it's simple: get as much done as they can with the least amount of people. This means that if somebody goes to your CFO or one of the other executives and says, hey, I got a piece of technology that can literally replace people at your company for a fraction of the cost, the executive and the CFO is going to go, sign me up. That is the goal right now. Cut costs at all costs. And the biggest cost for most companies isn't technology, it's actually people. If you're watching this video right now and thinking, well, that's not me, I'm comfortable, don't get too comfortable, because trust me, you never know when you're going to get laid off in 2025.
I got laid off from my corporate job yesterday. And I think that this is the reality for a lot of Americans right now, and it needs to be shared because America is not doing well right now. We have a 94% prediction rate that the recession is going to come, but yet our frickin' administration hasn't even made the move to actually say that a recession is coming. And let's actually call it what it is: a depression. People can't afford groceries, they can't afford rent, they can't afford buying houses, they can't afford having babies, they can't afford having the kids in general if they already have them. We are not in a good spot, y'all. I know that I'm just a number in a company, but I thought I was okay. You're going to think that you're okay because you've worked there for so long, or you have the right experience. Like, you guys, I have an undergraduate in marketing, a master's in business, 6 years of paid social media experience, both on a strategist and manager level. I have done people management for at least 3 years. I'm a senior level in my career.
Yeah, as you can see, even with 6 years of experience, a master and even a senior level and with a management experience, she still get laid off. And that's insane, right? Honestly, it really show that nothing about the job security is guaranteed anymore. It's wild how the system works. You can check all the boxes, the skills, education, and the experience, and still get hit by the layoff. So it's not about the performance, sometimes it's just kind of like the business decision or the restructuring or the cost cutting.
And yet, when I was hired to do a senior level role, I was forced into entry level positions. I was doing entry level work as a senior level strategist, all while at the same time being asked to reduce my workload with AI, and our team was having layoffs every 3 months. I should have seen it coming. I really should have. But the thing is that it was not something that I saw coming, because the day before that they laid me off, I was literally talking coverage plans with another employee who was going on leave for months. How am I supposed to sit there and not think that I'm safe in that moment? I just think it's absolutely ridiculous that we live in a world like this where my manager wasn't even the one that fired me, by the way, or laid me off. It was frickin' HR, and they read off a script. But my whole team got laid off. And this is the reality for a lot of Americans right now. My partner is a first responder, so I'm very lucky for the fact that I can be leaning on him for support right now, because luckily his job is secure, thanks to the fact that number one, his job is essential, and number two, he has a union behind him. What I will never understand is why corporate agencies have not unionized. We're not allowed, right? We're not allowed. That's part of it. We'll get fired because at least in this corporate world, they're always going to side on the side of business because that's what's making the government money. This world right now is not supporting people. It is supporting business. You are just a number, unfortunately. So please prepare yourself for shit like this. I wish I would have. I wish I'd been applying to other jobs months ago. I just was so dumb to not realize the signs. I want to talk about it. I think people need to talk about it. I think we need to make this more public. We all saw the jobs report. It was awful. Getting laid off on the day that the jobs report goes out, and it's 22,000 instead of 75,000 new jobs. You know how discouraging that is? If you know of anything in the marketing space, let me know. Use my comments as a way in which to maybe trauma dump. I don't care, vent. I'm here for you guys. I can't believe this. And I'm really sorry if you're going through this too. Here for you.
Story like this is, it's like a reality check for you and me, and it's why so many people are diversifying income and saving aggressively, and even learning new skill outside their main career, because even if you are qualified, the market doesn't owe you stability, and it's tough to watch, but it's also as a reminder, always have a safety net. Never rely entirely on one employer. Okay, I want to read through some of the comments on this video. So one comment say, union worker here, we aren't even safe. Our institution is planning of laying off some position. They just have to give union a certain amount of time to tell the workers. Yeah, that's crazy. If the union workers even worrying about getting laid off, that the job market is terrible right now. So there's another comment that I find interesting. It say, layoff in January of 2023, luckily started work a month later, but then layoff again in May of 2024 and haven't been able to start a new job since it's such a terrible job market right now. I have a bachelor degree in mechanical engineering and 5 years of experience in research and development. Yeah, the reason I find this comment interesting is because, as you can see, even as an engineer, it is very difficult to find a job right now after getting laid off, right? And people like to say engineering job is very safe and stable, but as you can see, in the current job market, is definitely not true.
Yesterday, my company had the largest layoffs that they've done in a really long time, and it was actually one of the scariest things I've had to witness in a work setting. I never thought that I would see so many people laid off from their job at once. All morning, I just kept seeing people from my team just gone. And I got phone calls from friends saying that they were gone too. I'm thankful that I still have my job, but
yeah, seeing people on your team getting laid off is definitely scary. It hit different when it's not just a number on the spreadsheet, but these are real people that you work with every single day. And honestly, it's a harsh reminder that no job is truly safe. Even if you are performing well, layoff can definitely happen for reason that is really out of your control.
still a lot of things for me in this position, I find a lot of fulfillment in it because of the people that I've met, and because I know that my career path can be kind of paved by the mentorship around me, and seeing that mentorship gone is really demotivating. And I feel like right now I should be motivated to work and motivated to do better, because I know that my job is always on the line, actually. But in reality, I'm actually really demotivated, and I actually really feel for the people that lost their job. And I kind of just realized, you're just a number to these large corporate companies. No matter how good of a person you are, they don't know you. They literally don't know you. They don't know what you do on a daily basis. It's all about numbers.
This part is very true. Company don't really care about you personally, and you're just a number on the spreadsheet to them. It's the reality for most people that they don't want to face. It's brutal, but it explains why layoff happens so randomly. Loyalty, hard work, or even year of experience. None of this really guarantee you of keeping your job. So you can't really rely on a company to protect you. At the end of the day, you have to protect yourself.
And it's just kind of sad to think about it like that. It seems like inhumane, and I wish things were more moralized, but at the end of the day, it's money, it's revenue, it's numbers on a board. It's not really what comes down to you or your personality or who you are or anything like that. As inhumane as the workforce is, you have to become humane when it comes to finding a job. You have to talk to people, you have to network, you have to be open to advice, you have to do all those things. And if you're not, then it's going to be really hard to find a job. But anyways, I have to work now. Peace and love.
I just got home from being laid off as an HR business partner today. It sucks, and all I said to my director was, it caught me off guard, but I'm not surprised. Their initiative to have everyone get together and find a friendly way to cut costs, their inability to promote people and give people raises, cutting budgets in other ways, these are all signs of a layoff. My position was more business partner and strategy, so obviously strategy of moving people forward and growing people means more money. So it makes sense that my position was cut from the rest of the generalist and admin type HR team. So I'm in a state of disassociating right now, and the one thing that I did remember to say is I could request a recommendation on LinkedIn. So yeah, he's excited to give me a recommendation, and that's the first thing I'll be doing, is requesting a recommendation on LinkedIn to show that it was nothing to do with my performance. It was truly a restructure of the company. But I'm in good hands because I know what I'm doing, and a lot of people don't. So hang in there if you're laid off or also looking for a job right now.
Yeah, this is crazy. As you can see, layoff can definitely affect anybody, no matter what position you are in the company. Typically when I see it, HR are people who typically laying off other people. Apparently in this situation, she is getting laid off as an HR, and it just shows that no job is safe nowadays. Alright guys, thank you so much for watching. If you guys are going through layoff right now, I really wish you guys the best. Hopefully you could find a job very, very soon. And yeah, don't give up.